Number 1. Become completely emotionally unavailable to them while maintaining strategic visibility. The first and most crucial action you must take after an avoidant breakup is to withdraw your emotional availability completely while ensuring they can still witness your life and growth from a distance. This isn't about playing games or manipulating their emotions. It's about genuinely protecting your energy while creating the exact psychological conditions that make avoidants reconsider their decisions. Your emotional unavailability must be authentic and comprehensive. Stop responding to their breadcrumbs with enthusiasm or gratitude. When they send those casual "how are you" texts or attempt to maintain friendly contact, respond politely but without the emotional investment they've come to expect. Treat them like any casual acquaintance rather than someone who once had intimate access to your heart and mind. This withdrawal extends beyond just communication to your entire emotional landscape. Stop analyzing their behavior. Stop trying to understand their motivations. Stop checking their social media obsessively. And stop asking mutual friends about their well-being. You must genuinely redirect all the mental and emotional energy you were investing in them toward building an extraordinary life that doesn't include them. The strategic visibility component is crucial because avoidants need to see evidence of your emotional unavailability rather than just experiencing it through lack of contact. They should witness through your social media presence, interactions with mutual friends, and general energy that you've moved beyond needing their validation or attention. This visibility serves as proof that you're not sitting around waiting for their return. Your social media should reflect someone who's thriving independently, posting about new experiences, achievements, adventures, and the exciting developments in your life. The content should be authentic rather than performative, showcasing genuine growth and happiness that exists whether they're watching or not. They need to see that you've created a life so fulfilling that their absence isn't creating a void. The psychological impact of your emotional unavailability combined with strategic visibility is profound for avoidants. They're accustomed to being the one who controls emotional distance in relationships, the one who decides when and how much connection happens. When you become unavailable first, it disrupts their sense of power and control while triggering their competitive instincts and abandonment fears. This unavailability forces them to experience what they've been putting you through, wondering where they stand, wanting more communication, feeling uncertain about your feelings. The role reversal is deeply uncomfortable for them, but also awakening because it makes them experience emotions they've been defending against their entire life. Your emotional unavailability also eliminates their ability to take your attention for granted. They can no longer assume you'll be there when they decide they want connection. This scarcity creates value in their mind and makes them realize they may have lost access to something precious through their own choices. The key is maintaining this unavailability consistently over time, rather than cycling between distance and pursuit. Avoidance can sense when emotional withdrawal is strategic versus authentic, so your unavailability must come from genuine self-preservation and growth rather than manipulation tactics designed to get them back. You must reach a place where your unavailability isn't about them at all. It's about protecting your energy for people who can reciprocate consistently, investing in relationships that feel safe and nurturing, and building a life so engaging that their sporadic attention becomes irrelevant to your happiness. This emotional unavailability serves multiple purposes. It protects you from repeated emotional injury. It demonstrates your worth and self-respect. It triggers their psychology in ways that make them reconsider the breakup, and it creates space for you to develop into someone even more attractive and self-possessed than before. Thing number 2, build an irresistibly attractive life that showcases your upgrade and evolution. The second essential action is transforming yourself into the most attractive, confident, and fulfilled version of yourself you've ever been, making it impossible for the avoidant to ignore how much you've grown during your time apart. This upgrade must be authentic and comprehensive, touching every area of your life in ways that demonstrate you've used their absence as fuel for extraordinary personal development. Focus intensively on your physical presentation and health. This doesn't mean becoming someone different, but rather becoming the best version of who you already are. Invest in your fitness, style, grooming, and overall wellness, in ways that make you feel confident and attractive. The goal isn't to make them jealous, but to develop genuine self-confidence that radiates in everything you do. Pursue intellectual and creative growth that expands your mind and capabilities. Take courses that challenge you, learn new skills that excite you, read books that broaden your perspective, engage in creative projects that showcase your talents. You want to become more interesting, more capable, and more intellectually stimulating than you were during the relationship. Develop your social life and expand your network in ways that demonstrate you're not dependent on any single person for companionship or emotional fulfillment. Cultivate friendships that nourish you, join groups aligned with your interests, attend events that energize you, and generally become someone with a rich social ecosystem that doesn't revolve around romantic partnership. Advance your career or pursue professional goals that showcase your ambition and competence. Whether that means seeking promotions, starting new projects, launching businesses, or changing career directions entirely, you want to demonstrate that you're someone with direction, motivation, and the ability to create success in your life. Travel, explore, and have adventures that expand your worldview and create interesting stories. These experiences should genuinely excite you and contribute to your personal growth, while also serving as visible evidence that you're living a life full of possibility and adventure. The upgrade must be visible to the avoidant through social media, mutual friends, and occasional encounters. They should hear about your achievements, see photos of your adventures, witness your confidence and happiness, and generally be forced to confront the reality that their absence has allowed you to flourish rather than diminish. This transformation creates several powerful psychological effects on the avoidant. First, it challenges their assumptions about your dependence on them and your ability to thrive independently. Second, it triggers their competitive instincts by showing them what they're missing out on. Third, it demonstrates that you're not the same person they left, forcing them to reassess their decision based on who you've become rather than who you were. The upgrade also serves as evidence that you've taken their feedback seriously and addressed any areas where you may have been limiting yourself during the relationship. If they felt you were too dependent, you're now demonstrating independence. If they thought you lacked ambition, you're showing drive and achievement. If they saw you as too available, you're now clearly selective about how you spend your time and energy. Most importantly, this transformation must be genuine rather than performative. You're not becoming a better person to win them back. You're becoming a better person because you deserve to live an extraordinary life regardless of who's in it. This authenticity is what makes the transformation truly attractive and sustainable. The irresistibly attractive life you build serves as silent communication about your value and desirability. You're not telling them you've changed, you're showing them through consistent evidence that you've evolved into someone even more worthy of love and respect than before. Thing number 3, create genuine scarcity by developing authentic alternatives and maintaining absolute standards. The third crucial action is demonstrating that you have real alternatives for love, companionship, and emotional fulfillment, while maintaining standards that the avoidant would need to meet to earn their way back into your life. This isn't about making them jealous through fake relationships or exaggerated dating stories. It's about genuinely opening yourself to connections with people who can offer what the avoidant couldn't provide. Start dating people who demonstrate emotional availability, consistency, and genuine enthusiasm for your company. Don't settle for situations that mirror the uncertainty and mixed signals you experience with the avoidant. Instead, explore connections with individuals who communicate clearly, make concrete plans, and show up reliably for the relationship they're building with you. These new connections should highlight the contrast between healthy relationship dynamics and the chaos you previously accepted. Date people who text you back promptly, who make time for you consistently, who express their feelings openly, and who don't require detective work to understand their intentions. Let the avoidant see through social media or mutual friends that you're being pursued by quality individuals. The goal isn't to immediately replace the avoidant with someone new, but to remember what it feels like to be valued, appreciated, and treated well by someone who's excited about your presence in their life. This contrast helps you recognize how much you are accepting substandard treatment and raises your standards for what you'll tolerate in future relationships. Your exploration of alternatives should be authentic and open-minded rather than strategic. You're genuinely evaluating whether other people might be better suited to meet your emotional needs than the avoidant was. You're not dating to make the avoidant jealous. You're dating because you deserve to explore relationships with people who can love you consistently and without reservation. Maintain absolutely unwavering standards for what behavior you'll accept if the avoidant does attempt to reconnect. They shouldn't be able to simply text you and receive the same enthusiastic response they got before the breakup. They shouldn't be able to see you without making concrete plans. They shouldn't be able to engage in the same hot and cold patterns that characterized your previous relationship. These standards should be communicated through your actions rather than your words. When they reach out casually, respond but don't drop everything to accommodate their timeline. When they suggest meeting up, insist on proper plans rather than last-minute hangouts. When they attempt to fall back into old patterns, maintain the boundaries you've established during your growth period. The scarcity you create through genuine alternatives serves multiple psychological functions. It threatens the avoidance assumption that they can return to you whenever they're ready and find you exactly where they left you. It forces them to compete for your attention rather than taking it for granted. It demonstrates that you have choices and options beyond waiting for their emotional availability. This scarcity also activates their loss aversion, the psychological principle that people value avoiding loss more than acquiring gains. When they realize you might actually choose someone else over them, it often motivates action they weren't capable of taking when they felt secure about your continued availability. Your standards and alternatives work together to create a new dynamic where they must earn your attention rather than simply receiving it. They can no longer assume that their sporadic interest will be met with gratitude and enthusiasm. They must demonstrate genuine change and commitment to earn their way back into a life that's clearly fulfilling without them. The combination of authentic alternatives and unwavering standards sends a clear message. You've learned your worth during your time apart, and you won't accept less than you deserve, regardless of your history together. This position of strength is far more attractive to avoidance than the previous dynamic where you were grateful for whatever attention they chose to provide. Why these three things work together to create irresistible pull. When implemented together, these three strategies create a perfect storm of psychological conditions that override the avoidant's typical defensive patterns and force them to reconsider their decision to end the relationship. Each element amplifies the effectiveness of the others, creating compound impact that addresses the avoidant's core psychological needs and fears. Your emotional unavailability removes the pressure and pursuit that typically triggers their flight response, allowing them to miss you authentically rather than feeling relieved by your absence. Your upgraded life demonstrates that you're not just surviving without them, but thriving in ways that make you more attractive and desirable. Your genuine alternatives and maintained standards prove that their return isn't guaranteed and that they'll need to compete for a position they once took for granted. Together, these elements transform you from someone who was pursuing them into someone worth pursuing. You become the mystery they once thought they were providing, the prize they assumed they could always win, the option that might not always be available. This role reversal is both uncomfortable and irresistible to avoidants who have spent their lives being the ones with power and control in relationships. The psychological impact is profound because these strategies address the avoidant's core attachment needs while neutralizing their core attachment fears. They can miss you without feeling pressured, appreciate you without feeling controlled, and want you without feeling suffocated. You've created the exact conditions that make love feel safe for someone with their attachment style. However, it's crucial to understand that implementing these strategies doesn't guarantee the avoidant will return, and their return doesn't guarantee they've changed or that a renewed relationship would be healthy. The real value of these actions is that they protect your well-being, promote your growth, and create conditions for either healthy reconciliation or confident moving forward. The goal isn't just to make them come back, it's to become someone who doesn't need them to come back to feel complete and worthy. If they do return, it should be to join you in the extraordinary life you've built, rather than to rescue you from the misery of their absence. This distinction is crucial for ensuring that any renewed relationship operates from a foundation of strength rather than desperation.